The Squirrel Who Wanted to See Snow. Once upon a time, in the heart of a bustling green forest, there lived a little squirrel named Willow. Willow was not like the other squirrels in her family, for she was endlessly curious about the world beyond the familiar oak trees and the babbling brook that wound its way through her home. While her brothers and sisters scampered up and down the branches, gathering acorns and playing hide and seek, Willow would often sit quietly, gazing up at the sky, imagining all the wonders that lay beyond the forest. One chilly autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned gold and crimson, Willow overheard a pair of migrating geese talking excitedly as they rested on the branch above her. "The north is covered in a soft white blanket," honked one goose. "It sparkles in the sunlight, and when you land, it feels like 1,000 tiny stars beneath your feet." Willow's ears perked up. She scampered closer, her tiny paws gripping the rough bark. "What is this white blanket you speak of?" she asked, her eyes wide with wonder. The geese smiled kindly. "It's called snow," they explained. "It falls from the sky in delicate flakes, covering everything in sight. The world turns peaceful and quiet, and the air feels crisp and magical." Willow's heart fluttered with excitement. She had never seen snow before, not even a single flake. The idea of a world transformed, blanketed in sparkling white, filled her with longing. As the geese took flight, heading further north, Willow made a promise to herself. She would see snow, no matter what. That night, Willow told her mother about her dream. Her mother listened patiently, then gently shook her head. "Our family has always lived in the forest," she said softly. "Snow is for places far away. The journey would be long and cold, and you are just a little squirrel. Why not stay here where it is safe and warm?" But Willow could not shake the dream from her mind. She watched the leaves fall, knowing that soon the winter would come, and with it, the chance to see this magical snow. She planned her journey carefully. She packed a tiny bag with her favorite acorn snacks and a soft leaf to use as a blanket. She said goodbye to her family, promising to return before the first frost. At dawn, Willow set off on her adventure. The forest seemed different when she was alone, bigger, quieter, and full of secrets. She followed the path the geese had taken, climbing over mossy logs and leaping from branch to branch. The air grew colder as she traveled north, and the trees began to thin, replaced by tall pines with needles that whispered in the wind. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of orange, Willow met a wise old owl perched on a twisted branch. "Where are you going, little one?" the owl asked, his golden eyes glinting in the dusk. "I'm searching for snow," Willow replied bravely. "Have you ever seen it?" The owl nodded. "I have seen many winters," he said. "Snow is beautiful, but it can also be dangerous for the unprepared. You must be careful, little squirrel. The world changes when snow falls." "I understand," said Willow, though she felt a shiver of worry. But her curiosity was stronger than her fear, and she thanked the owl for his advice. As Willow journeyed on, the days grew shorter and the nights colder. She met many creatures along the way: a family of deer who shared their berries, a prickly porcupine who warned her to keep her tail warm, and a friendly rabbit who taught her how to dig a cozy burrow in the earth. Each new friend told stories of winter and snow, how it could be both joyful and challenging, how it covered the world in silence, and how it brought animals together to share warmth and kindness. Willow listened to every story, her excitement growing with every step. One night, as Willow curled up in her burrow, she dreamt of snowflakes falling from the sky, swirling around her in a gentle dance. When she awoke, the world felt different. The sky was heavy with clouds, and the air tingled with anticipation. Willow peeked out of her burrow just as the first snowflake drifted down, landing softly on her nose. She giggled in surprise. The snowflake was cold and light, and it melted into a tiny drop of water. More snowflakes followed, floating through the air like feathers, covering the ground in a sparkling white carpet. Willow leapt out into the snow, her tiny paws making prints in the soft powder. She twirled in circles, catching snowflakes on her whiskers and tail. The world was quiet and peaceful, just as the geese had said. Everything seemed new and magical. She built a tiny snow squirrel, rolling balls of snow and stacking them carefully. She slid down a snowy hill, laughing as she tumbled to the bottom. She watched as the morning sun made the snow glitter like a field of diamonds. Although the snow was cold, Willow's heart was warm with joy. She remembered the owl's words and made sure to keep moving, finding shelter when she needed it, and sharing her acorn snacks with a hungry field mouse she met along the way. As the days passed, Willow grew to love the snow even more. She discovered that it made familiar things look new, and that it brought animals together in a spirit of friendship and sharing. But soon, Willow began to miss her family and her home. She missed the sound of the brook, the taste of her favorite nuts, and the warm embrace of her mother's tail. She knew it was time to return to the forest. The journey home was difficult, for the snow made the path slippery, and the cold nipped at Willow's nose and ears. But she remembered all she had learned from her friends: how to stay warm, how to find food, and how to keep her spirits up. Finally, after many days of travel, Willow saw the familiar oak trees of her forest. She raced home, her heart pounding with happiness. Her family rushed to greet her, wrapping her in hugs and listening eagerly as she told them all about her adventure. Willow shared stories of the wise owl, the kind deer, the prickly porcupine, and the friendly rabbit. She described the feeling of snowflakes on her nose, the beauty of the snow-covered world, and the lessons she had learned about courage, curiosity, and kindness. Though she was glad to be home, Willow knew she would never forget the magic of her snowy adventure. And every winter, when the wind grew cold and the sky filled with clouds, she would look up and remember the day she saw the snow for the first time. From that day on, Willow became known in the forest as the squirrel who chased her dreams, who wasn't afraid to explore the unknown, and who always came home with a heart full of stories. Her courage inspired other young animals to follow their curiosity, to make new friends, and to discover the magic that lies just beyond the edge of the familiar. And so, in the heart of the forest, on cold winter nights, Willow would gather her family and friends together and tell them stories of snow, adventure, and the wonders that await those who dare to dream. For even the smallest squirrel can have the biggest adventures, and every journey begins with a single step and a heart full of wonder. And as the snow falls gently outside, covering the world in a soft, sparkling blanket, Willow and her family snuggle close, warm and safe, dreaming of the adventures yet to come. The end.